From flashing a gun on Instagram Live and getting suspended, to Shannon Sharpe putting the guard on full blast, Ja Morant has ruined his NBA career. His most recent gun scandal is proof. Just a few days ago, the NBA All-Star point guard was slapped with a suspension for flashing a gun on his friend's Instagram Live. In the live stream, Ja Morant and his friend Devontae Pack were sitting in a car, jamming along to some music, when suddenly, the camera panned to Ja, who flashed his gun, jamming to the music. It was only for a split second, but it was there. At that moment, Devontae probably realized he messed up real bad because he immediately switched the camera angle to focus on something else. Even though the live on Pac's IG had barely 100 viewers, someone's always waiting to pounce, and a screen recording of the live stream quickly started going viral on social media. The Memphis Grizzlies have been in this situation before, so they knew exactly what to do when the news of their point guard being wrapped up in controversy surfaced. They didn't waste a second in issuing a statement informing fans of his suspension from all team activities. Apparently, the NBA is also reviewing the whole incident, and at this point, it looks like Morant should get ready to kiss his career goodbye. Even his own fans think so. One account on Twitter pointed out how ridiculous it is that he managed to get a suspension while he was on summer vacation. It looks like Ja's determined to ruin his future because he keeps doing reckless things. Some people think that Morant is going to keep going like this until his endorsements start going away. Even though the Grizzlies suspended him, Ja still has his Nike deal worth $12 million. If you can even think of risking that, then you're the dumbest on the planet, at least according to former NBA star Kwame Brown. One thing's for sure, Ja hasn't learned anything from his first suspension in March, which he received for doing the same exact thing. The guard was just out and about, partying in a Colorado nightclub, when he was spotted waving a gun around on Instagram Live. If Morant thought that he'd get away with this unscathed, he was wrong. There was a whole police investigation, and even though the point guard wasn't charged by the Glendale Police Department, the situation could have been very bad, and the NBA had no choice but to suspend him for 8 whole games without pay to teach him a lesson. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the league himself, issued a statement and described Ja's actions as irresponsible and reckless. The only reason the point guard was let back onto the court was because he claimed he learned from the whole incident. Now everyone knows that he hasn't, jeopardizing the whole team, his paycheck, and even his chance to secure that generational wealth bag. Just for a few seconds of feeling cool, this should not be the move for the 23-year-old Grizzlies superstar. Immature doesn't even begin to describe it. Some fans are even going as far as to compare Ja to Antonio Brown's level of carelessness. And we all know that's what happens when athletes don't grow out of their dark past. Unfortunately, Ja's history of violence doesn't end with pulling guns on IG Live, because the young Grizzlies guard has been wrapped up in controversy for a long time and even has multiple allegations of assault against him. The Washington Post reported that Morant threatened the head of security at a mall in Memphis, all because Ja's mom was arguing with a store employee at the mall. She called her son for help, but he turned up with 9 other people in the mall's parking lot, asking for a fight. Morant's crew was even accused of punching the security guard, so he filed a complaint. Even though no arrests were made, I'm sensing a pattern here. Ja Morant definitely doesn't surround himself with good company. Whenever he's in trouble, his friends are on the scene. Just days after the mall incident, Headband 12 was involved in another altercation with a teenage boy. Yep, you heard that right. Devontae Pack was also on the scene when Ja punched a 17-year-old during a game of pickup basketball. It seems like trouble follows this duo, because the boy that Ja allegedly attacked went to the police and filed a report, claiming that after the physical fight, the Grizzlies guard went into his house and came back with a gun tucked under his pants. Morant, of course, defended his actions by saying he acted in self-defense, adding that the teenager started the fight by throwing the ball at his head first. Even if he did, that does not warrant threatening a minor with a gun. It really doesn't make sense for Ja Morant to be acting like this. At 23, the 2-time All-Star and 2020 Rookie of the Year is set to sign a $193 million contract to think that all of that could be gone just because of his recent scandals. Some fans think that Ja's chance to create a legacy is down the drain at this point. He was the face of Powerade, starring in ads for the beverage company, but they took them down immediately after news of his very first scandal. Nike event delayed the launch of Ja Morant's signature shoe, And if these incidents keep happening, there's a huge chance they might just drop him completely. I bet Morant is regretting his throw your guns move really hard right now. I mean, was it all worth it, Ja? Were the 111 viewers on Instagram Live impressed? It looks like the point guard is going to need way more than a few days of therapy and 8 games off to fix things. It looks like a nice long suspension and no big checks coming his way might just be the wake-up call that Ja Morant needs. Honestly though, this will only work if Morant admits and accepts that he has a problem. He's at a very important turning point in his career right now, and if he can redeem himself, it's going to be the comeback of the century. If he can't make use of his superstar status to orchestrate a comeback, then Morant might just make a premature exit from the NBA. There's no denying that his actions have had a major impact, changing the trajectory of his career forever. Just 2 live streams led to the point guard not making any All-NBA teams, which is a huge deal considering Morant is one of the top 15 players in the NBA right now. There's no doubt he deserves a spot, but unfortunately, Ja's bad decisions have had some devastating consequences. Not only did he lose out on $39 million in bonuses, his popularity also suffered. Before the first gun scandal, Morant's NBA jersey was the 6th best-selling. Now, it's only the 8th best-selling one. Everyone knows that Ja has what it takes to be great. In Zach Randolph's words, the sky's the limit for him. The franchise player's 3rd trip to the playoffs was nothing less than iconic, considering he put up big numbers. He scored 30.2 points, 8.2 assists, and 4.8 rebounds per game, and shot 47.8% from the field. Ja obviously has what it takes to be great on the court, but if he keeps going at this rate, his career is going to end, and all his accomplishments will mean nothing. Ja Morant won't be remembered as a legendary rookie who made his way to the top, but as someone who sabotaged his career and future. He could have been the next face of the NBA, but instead, he went down the wrong path, chose the wrong crew, and made the wrong decisions. The NBA world certainly hasn't held back from expressing its opinions, and Stephen A. Smith made a bold statement saying that Ja Morant's been associated with guns more than with winning.
And Ja Morant has been associated with guns more than he's been associated with winning.
Smith even commented on how Ja's 5-year contract doesn't make him bulletproof, and the same goes for his endorsements.
Because that potential 5-year, $230 million contract that kicks in next season has you feeling bulletproof, no pun intended?
Stephen didn't go easy on the kid at all. Shannon Sharpe took the criticism a step further, talking about how he's mad, upset, and even disgusted by everyone who defended Ja Morant.
I'm mad, I'm upset, I'm disappointed, I'm disgusted by the people that defended him.
On Undisputed, he said that it's just not the point guard who's at fault for the whole situation, but also to everyone who enabled him. Shannon warned Ja back in March after the first incident, calling on him to move differently. He also kept talking about how Ja Morant can't put himself in this situation again. Of course, the Grizzlies stars didn't take the former football player's advice. Instead of blaming Ja himself, Sharpe targeted his attention to Morant's fans and supporters, holding them accountable for letting the situation get this far. Letting Ja be Ja clearly didn't work out, and Shannon wasn't afraid to call anyone out for it. He challenged those same fans to be Morant's GoFundMe treasurer, because that's exactly what he'll need after losing out on almost $40 million. If things keep getting worse, he might also lose another $20–30 million in endorsements. The former Ravens tight end even went as far as to say that Ja is about to lose his NBA contract too. If he doesn't learn his lesson, he might just say bye-bye to basketball. So from Shannon Sharpe putting the guard on full blast to him flashing a gun on Instagram Live and getting suspended, it looks like Ja Morant's NBA career is over.